Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Blissed? Dr. Shealy?
No. Oh, well. If I can stop laughing, I'll say yes.
Are you blissed?
Yes.
Wow. Class, this is a very special broadcast. I believe this is the most important broadcast we've ever done. It's a serious broadcast, and it's about treatment for all kinds of diseases, chronic diseases, asthma. And there's a post on the website if you'd like to peruse at usaprepares.com. And my research shows that this therapy is used to treat many maladies. And I'm going to just let you know what some of them are. And this is just my research according to the internet. We're not making any claims here, but here's what I've found. Heart disease, arterial sclerosis, strokes, abnormal kidney function, metabolic syndrome, inflammation, diabetes, muscle weakness, neurodegenerative diseases, impaired lung function, cancer, and immune disorders. That's just some of what my research has led me to find. At Dr. Shealy's website, normshealy.com, there's a post that talks about cancer therapy. And it's at usaprepares.com, page number 1, if you'd like to find it, or you go to normshealy.com. Or you can just search on the internet, Myers cocktail, and Norm Shealy, Norm space Shealy. Dr. Shealy is a medical doctor. And I decided that I've heard so much about this. We have been talking about Myers cocktails for going on 5 years, maybe more. And I decided that I would try one. I asked Dr. Shealy if there's any concerns about reactions. And the answer was that I heard that it's very, very safe. Some people even take these when they're hungover. Well, this is the broadcast to talk about Myers cocktail, Myers. And Dr. Shealy, I want to share with you, just before we get started on this, I asked a number of medical professionals about this. Nurses, doctors, nurse practitioners, therapists. Over time, I've asked a number of people in the medical profession about this. And this must be a secret because not one person really knew about it. And I mentioned it to one person. What do you think about Myers cocktails? And she indicated, well, people go to bars. That's okay, Now,
the height of medical ignorance.
Well, and that's what we are here to, this is what we're here to share today. And so, can you tell us just briefly, what a Myers cocktail is? And then I'd like to share my experience with trying one and see what my reaction was. And I'll tell you what, maybe you can hear it in my voice. But Dr. Shealy, what is a Myers cocktail? How is it delivered? How is it prepared? Those kinds of things, please.
Well, it is an intravenous injection. There are people who give, a fairly heavy dose, even by slow push, so to call. I've never done that because I think it could disturb the pH. But I've used Myers cocktails since the late 70s. First medicine that I used it in to treat cancer was a man who had bladder cancer the size of an orange. And within 2 weeks, his bladder cancer disappeared totally. His urologist was furious with him and me. Now, Myers is a mixture of a number of things to balance the total biochemistry when you give large doses of vitamin C. And so the major original purpose was to give vitamin C for infections or cancer or immune enhancement. Now, the dose used can range anywhere from 25 grams of vitamin C as ascorbic acid up to 100 grams or more IV. And it has been shown to have a beneficial effect in hepatitis, for instance, HIV, and, of course, all kinds of viral infections. Before I got started 11 or so years ago on the moderate doses of vitamin D, anytime I felt a cold or a virus flu coming on, I would take a Myers cocktail with 25 grams of vitamin C, and that would almost always knock it out. But since, of course, I started on the 50,000 units of vitamin D3 once a week, knocking wood, I have not had a viral infection. Now, if I did, the first thing I would do is get a Myers cocktail with at least 25 and up to 50 grams of vitamin C. Now, so depending somewhat on weight, but for most people, it's going to wind up being 50 to 75 grams. And smaller people are going to get 75 grams. People who have, what I would call a normal, healthy body weight of 140 or 50 and more, I'll give up to 100 grams. But I like to give the first one at 50 and the second one at 75 and then 100 after that. Now, for something as serious as cancer, we may do up to 20. And depending on how sick they are, we may do it 5 days a week for 4 weeks. Or I prefer to spread it out a little bit, like 3 times a week for however many we're going to give. But in addition to the vitamin C, there's a whole bunch of other, what I call balancing tools, and that includes magnesium, of course. And again, we use anywhere from 1 gram in very frail people to 4 grams maximum of magnesium chloride. Calcium, chloride or gluconate, at least 1 gram. Vitamin B6, 100 milligrams. Vitamin B complex, another 100 milligrams. Dexpanthenol, member of the B family, 250 milligrams. B12, 1,000 micrograms, and folic acid, 1,000 micrograms. Now, we do use the methyl B12 and the methylfolate. All of that's mixed into mostly a plastic bag of 500 cc's of can be either dextrose, 5% dextrose in water, or normal saline, and given over a period of about an hour.
Okay, well, let me see if I've got this right. It includes magnesium, calcium, vitamin B6, vitamin B complex. I wrote Dex, and Dexpanthenol, did you say?
Yes, Dex, DEX hyphen panthenol, pantothenic acid, in other words.
Okay. And B12, which was the methyl B12. And there was one other thing, I think.
Both B6, 100 milligrams, and B complex, which is the 1, 2, 3, and 6.
Okay. And so I decided it would be interesting to try this and to see what my experience was. Well, here's what happened. Dr. Shealy put the IV in my arm, and it was on this hanging this pole that hangs an IV, and I wheeled it into the scalar room at Dr. Shealy's clinic in Springfield, Missouri, and I just relaxed, and it was drip, drip, drip. And my calculations, I believe, showed that I received almost 1 gram or 1,000 milligrams, which is 1 gram, of vitamin C per minute. Is that about right, Dr. Shealy?
Well, yeah, I actually get 75. You got a little bit more than a gram because you got, 75 grams total. No, you got 50 grams, just this. You got about one gram a minute.
Yeah. So class, I just want to give you an indication of what that means. A lot of people will go to the vitamin shelf in the store and buy a bottle of vitamin C, and it might be 250 milligrams, which is a quarter of a gram. Or they might get tablets that are 500 milligrams, which is a half a gram. Or they might get 1,000 milligrams, which is 1 gram. And they might take that one of those once a day. Well, I got the equivalent of the largest dose, which is 1,000 milligrams, about every minute. So I just want to I just wanted to, give you an indication of what we're talking about, right into my bloodstream. And so I was relaxing in Dr. Shealy's scalar room, along with other people in there. And it was just drip, drip, drip. And I was very, very, very relaxed. After about an hour, the IV was done. And Dr. Sergey Sorin removed the IV from my arm. And I felt different. I felt just a little bit lightheaded, just a little bit. And I wanted to make sure Dr. Shealy knew about that, and Dr. Sergey Sorin. And that's considered normal. And then I went on to Sam's Club to pick up a couple things. I wanted to get some fruit, and I wanted to get some avocados and so forth. And I was racing around Sam's Club. And I had an iPad with me. It was in the truck. So Mrs. Finelli thought that we would hop on Skype and call one of our children. 25-year-old guy at the farm. And I'll tell you what I said, which is kind of amusing to me, because I've never used these words before. Never. I'll tell you what I said when we come back. Class, Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, and I truly believe that this is our most important broadcast ever, because we're talking about a therapy for many maladies, and I mentioned them in the first segment. And I'd like to ask you to share this broadcast with family and friends. You can listen to it on a telephone listen line, and that's up 24 hours a day, but it will only be broadcasting today and tomorrow because it gets replaced with the next broadcast every 24 hours. And that listen line is 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. You can go to gcnlive.com and you can listen to the archives there. They're available 24 hours a day on your computer. You can go to Republic Broadcasting and listen to them, or you can go to YouTube. You can type in Dr. Shealy. You can type in Vincent Finelli and Dr. Shealy, and you can type in today's date, and you will find that broadcast, March 8th, 2017. So, and I suggest that you share this with family and friends. So here's what happened, Dr. Shealy. I was in Sam's Club racing around. When I say racing around, I mean racing around. I was, I had a sense of urgency, but I don't know why. I felt 30 years younger. So I got on Skype.
Practically in diapers.
And I was thinking, I feel younger than our son. So I got on Skype with an iPad. I use Wi-Fi. I don't have a cell phone. And I called him up and I said, hey, so how you doing? I said, listen, you didn't know me before you were born, but I feel 30 years younger. And I said, get ready, because when I get home, we're going to pull that axle out of that truck tonight. And he's thinking, hard day at the farm. He's been busy all day. The last thing he wants to hear is Dad is wide awake and wants to do some really hard work. Well, so
he needed an IV.
So this morning, yeah. So this morning we woke him up real early, and I have this problem with this other truck, this Chevy truck, and so it has an ABS problem. I don't want to get into that, but it required taking this thing out on a field, one of our fields, one of the farthest fields we have away from us, and going into skid mode to reset the automatic braking system. So I'm out there, I drag him with me, and we're racing around this field, like, I don't know, 30 miles an hour on the field, and I'm slamming on the brakes and skidding and sliding. And he's like, is that my dad? He's hanging on for dear life. So what I'm saying, Dr. Shealy, is this is amazing, okay? And if it can attack infections and enhance our immune system and attack cancer, this is unbelievable.
Well,
so,
I have certainly had that experience myself, over the 40 years roughly that I have worked with Myers cocktails and vitamin C. Certainly it has been energizing and rejuvenating to me many times, but also to patients. Right now, we've just finished treating a couple who'd had, a month of 6 weeks of chronic coughing and some kind of prolonged upper respiratory thing, and they only got about 5 injections, and much better.
Well, Dr. Shealy, I'd like to report that I have had no side effects or complications. I'm wired right now. I mean, I am literally. How long does this last? Because my family's going to get annoyed with me.
But remember, again, Vince, I think it's important. You are a remarkably sensitive individual in many respects. 2 drops of air bliss is enough for you, but most people take 13.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about what this cocktail has done. Maybe could you share your experiences in some of the maladies that it is attacked and fixed, and what would you use it for when we come back? Dr. Norman Shealy, normshealy.com. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and we're talking about something that I decided that it'd be nice to investigate and see what it's like for myself, because I've heard so much about the Myers cocktail from Dr. Shealy, and as I mentioned, I haven't found any other medical professionals who have experienced it nor knew about it. And I'm going to send a copy of this broadcast to some of my friends who are in the medical profession so they can learn more about it as well. So there's a post on the internet that says it's from a doctor who he says he's treated thousands of patients with Myers cocktails over many years, probably nowhere near as many as Dr. Shealy has. And he says that he found that his patients responded well to the treatment. And what were those maladies? Acute asthma attacks, migraines, fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, acute muscle spasm, upper respiratory tract infections, chronic sinusitis, seasonal allergies, cardiovascular disease. And one of the things that I was thinking about as I was experiencing this, boy, I'll bet athletes would love this because it would improve performance. And then, of course, the next thing I thought about was what Dr. Shealy said when we were talking about Hillary Clinton's debate performance. And all of a sudden, she was on top of her game, and she was miraculously improved. Could this have been what she got, Dr. Shealy?
Of course. I think my greatest use has been in people with fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. Fibromyalgia is a remarkable total body disease where people have pain in most of the muscles of their body, but especially around the shoulders and upper body, but it can be everywhere. And they are highly deficient in magnesium, and conventional medicine has absolutely nothing to offer these people except horrible drugs that do nothing but make them worse. And I have essentially cured many scores of people with fibromyalgia by giving them, usually in fibromyalgia, I might only use 50 to 75 grams of vitamin C in the Myers cocktail. But they'll get 10, minimum of 10, to treat fibromyalgia.
Well, let me share something else. I have some kind of arthritis, and my joints and my fingers have bulged, and I've been told that, well, that's because you work hard and you're a farmer and you're and you're wearing out. Okay, all right. Well, Dr. Shealy, I didn't notice any joint pain yesterday after the Myers cocktail. I don't have any now. It's unbelievable. I think this is a treatment for, at least what I see, it's like the fountain of youth. Am I exaggerating?
No, my suspicion is, and I've not tested this, but I'll give you 10 to 1 odds, that one of the things it does is raise your DHEA. Dehydroepiandrosterone. DHEA is probably the single easiest way to know what I call your stress reserves are. And in 99.999% of people, DHEA goes down starting at age 30, and every year it keeps going down, so that by age 80, it's usually about 10% of what it was at age 30. And it is the, primary feel-good, energizing bunny hormone. Mm-hmm. And my suspicion is that is what happened to you. You got a big boost of DHEA. Your adrenal gland said, "Where have you been?"
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm wired right this minute. Well, now, Dr. Shealy, I've decided that I should take orally vitamin C and vitamin B complex as you recommended. Now, what is the thought about doing that while in between Myers cocktails?
Oh, so absolutely. Well, of course, I think all adults should be taking my youth formula. And the reason for the youth formula is 4 of those is 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C and 1,000 milligrams of MSM with a little bit of molybdenum and beta-1-Z-glucan. And that has been proven unequivocally to raise DHEA. Dr.
Shealy, so I'm looking at your website, and it's normshealy.com/cancer-therapy. Okay, and it's posted on the website, USA Prepares, page number 1. That's the top post. And if you click on that class, it will tell you Dr. Shealy's cancer therapy recommendations. And it says, in general, he does not find most of somewhat radical conventional approaches to help many people. In fact, he says he would not recommend conventional chemotherapy. Instead, he would try, and here's what you've got, Dr. Shealy. My Essentials. Now, that would be Dr. Shealy's Essentials, 8 per day. Can you tell us about, I'd like to go right down this list slowly with you so our class can understand exactly what you mean. It says you would try My Essentials, 8 of them per day. What does that mean? Well, My Essentials is my all-round B complex and trace this, that, and the other. So it's got 8 of those would have 200 milligrams of B complex and a lot of other trace things. I wouldn't take that many. And ordinarily, I think 2 a day is fine. But for somebody with a serious problem, they can certainly double up. Okay. Now, when you say 8 per day, do you mean spread over the day?
Yeah.
Okay. Like with meals and all day long, but not just 8 all at once. Okay. The next thing that you've got on your list is youth formula. Dr. Shealy's youth. By the way, class, this is not a commercial. This is not a commercial. I think my reaction to the Myers cocktail, just trying it, was so overwhelming that I wanted to do this broadcast about this. So how do I say this? Dr. Shealy, you and I have been talking about things for over 5 years, and I wanted to try everything that you've recommended. And this class is an endorsement. This is Vincent Finelli trying what Dr. Shealy says works and ending up with a smile on my face saying, it works. and I'll even tell you about the sapphire crystals that I have around my neck. maybe in another broadcast or maybe in this one, but we'll even talk about that. So, youth formula, 4 per day. What is that, Dr. Shealy?
Well, youth formula, those 4 will contain 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams of MSM or methylsulfonomethane, 60 microns of molybdenum, and 3 milligrams of beta-1,3-glucan. All of those enhance immune function.
Okay. So that would enhance this feeling that I have right now of being 30 years younger.
Yes.
That puts me in my mid-30s. Okay. Now, next on your list is magnesium lotion, 2 teaspoons twice daily.
Well, 100% of Americans need that, period. 80% of people are significantly deficient in magnesium. And magnesium lotion is absorbed many, many, many times faster, better than oral magnesium. And, interestingly, only when you put it on the skin does it also raise DHEA, which it will not do when you take it orally, which hardly does anything for your blood level anyway. Or even intravenously, the magnesium IV doesn't raise DHEA, but so the skin does.
Mm-hmm. And do you have an estimation of what that dosage would be of magnesium if you take 2 teaspoons?
It would be somewhere about 400 milligrams.
Did you say 400 milligrams?
Yes.
Okay. So 400 milligrams a day. Okay, and then you've recommended vitamin D3, which is something that we've been talking about for years, 50,000 units daily.
Now, again, there's a caveat that you have to watch your your blood level of calcium when taking it every day. On the other hand, it alone as an oral supplement is the strongest immune enhancer that we know.
Okay. So are you saying 50,000 units every day until recovery? Is that what we're talking about?
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, again, you do have to check your serum calcium. I recommend it 3 weeks, 9 weeks, and then every 3 months as long as you're on that, because even without adding any calcium, vitamin D3 keeps you from losing it, so it can get too high if you're not careful.
So does that mean no milk, no cheese, no yogurt?
No, that's okay. It's just don't take any calcium supplements.
Okay. So normal, good diet, but no calcium supplements. Okay. And how does one check serum calcium, Dr. Shealy?
Oh, that's an easy test. You can do it only, or you can get what's called a metabolic profile, which would include a lot of things, including calcium. It is a blood test.
Okay. So is that something that we could go to our doctor's office? Do you do that at your clinic?
Well, we order it. We don't do the measurements there. In general, for people who are not needing to try to get it through their insurance mafia, I send them to any lab test now because it's cheaper than any hospital around.
Okay. Class, that's any lab test now. Any lab test now. And there's one in the Springfield Village. I know the owner of that particular franchise. I've talked with him many times, and he's promised to come on the air with us. So I'll see if I can get him on the air post haste, maybe in a week or so. So I'll try to do that. That's any lab test. Now, he's been a speaker at our expo, so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, then the next one, Dr. Shealy, is vitamin K2, 100 micrograms daily.
I'm about to change that. That should be 45 milligrams now.
45 milligrams. Okay, so let me write that down. Vitamin K2, 45 milligrams daily. Okay, we'll talk about that when we come back. Dr. Shealy's with us. Class, we're talking about our most important broadcast to date with Dr. Norman Shealy, and this is about the Myers cocktail. And Dr. Shealy, that led into the topic of Dr. Shealy's cancer therapy. So we are reviewing Dr. Shealy's cancer therapy, and it's at normshealy.com, and you can go to the website, normshealy.com, and find it, or you can go to usapreparedness.com. It's on page 1. And I suggest that you share this broadcast with family and friends. Dr. Shealy, vitamin K2 100 micrograms has been revised upward to 45 milligrams. Please tell us about that.
100 micrograms is essential for totally healthy people. But it's quite safe to take when you have something like cancer. It works synergistically with vitamin D3 to have a tremendous boost on your immune system.
Okay. And by the way, are all of these available at your website, Dr. Shealy?
Most of things, yes. Almost everything that is available at the website, except the IV. Of course, you have to come to the clinic.
And that's in Springfield, Missouri. And while we're on the topic of the clinic, let me give you the phone number. If you'd like to try what I tried, here's the telephone number: 417-351-5221. 417-351-5221. Now, normally I don't recommend driving those little tiny half a cars, those smart cars which take up, half of a parking space. But if you want to get into Dr. Shealy's parking lot, you might need one. Because the parking lot's full. It's absolutely full. Okay, Dr. Shealy, so CoQ10, 400 milligrams daily. Yes,
CoQ10 is, one of, again, the most essential things for all aspects of immune function.
Okay, Dr. Shealy, I've looked at CoQ10 dosages, and typically you'll see 100 milligram gelatin capsules, sometimes 200. 400 is pretty large in what I've seen on the shelf. Is that just where I've been?
No, I get CoQ10 in 20 milligram sizes, and I take 3 of them every day. Wait a minute.
No, you've got 400 milligrams. You've got 400 milligrams here.
But for cancer, again, we're looking at the big disease. When you get into something like cancer, you want to, double up, so to speak, on a lot of things, including, among others, CoQ10.
Okay, CoQ10, 400 milligrams daily. Next on the list...
what I take is 60 milligrams, and I take 3 of them. So I take 180 every day anyway.
Okay. And that's about what I've been taking. I've been taking about 200. So, on a normal basis. And so does my mom. Alpha HFI, 3 daily.
Yes, that's something you'll have to get off the internet.
Okay. Alpha HFI. What is that, Dr. Shealy?
Well, it's another immune booster. There are many. I mean, you'll see as we go down, almost everything is an immune booster, like the reishi mushroom and everything like that.
Okay. And is the reason that when you are attacking cancer with your protocol that the immune system has been compromised and cancer got a foothold? Is that what this is about?
Exactly. Almost all diseases involve a weakness of the immune system.
Okay. And as we go down this list, we're about a third of the way down this list of Dr. Shealy's cancer protocol. We'll be talking about the Myers cocktail. We'll be talking about castor oil suits. We'll be talking about saunas. We'll be talking about positive mental programming, GR8 Dophilus, saliva pH, and meals, what you should be eating, and more. NormShealy.com. We'll be right back. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Hour number 2 of usapreparedness.com. And class, as I said during hour number 1, I believe this is our most important broadcast ever. My poor family. I decided to see firsthand what Dr. Shealy had been discussing on this broadcast for over 5 years, and that is the Myers cocktail. And so yesterday, I decided that I would go to his clinic and see what it's all about, so I could report firsthand to you. And if you listen to the first hour of this broadcast, you'll learn more about what I'm talking about. But I had this Myers cocktail, and I am wired. I ran down the stairs during the top of the hour break, and one of our neighbors was here. He's a senior citizen, and he's looking at me like, "What's with you?" I mean, I'm racing around the house, and I'm telling him about the Myers cocktail, and so now he's interested in trying it because he would love to move faster, because all of us had experienced this slowdown in our lives, and if I were to have another one, I could probably approach keeping up with Dr. Shealy. Approach it. Oh, geez, Dr. Shealy, I'm not kidding. I am wired, and our neighbor, who's has been coming here for over 10 years visiting us, is looking at me like, "What's with you?" I mean, and so I said to my son, he was chatting with our neighbor at the kitchen table, and I said, "You won't believe this. I just wrote some notes. I can read my handwriting, and not only can I read my handwriting, it's legible now. I mean, I've been looking at I've got piles and piles of notebooks. I can hardly read my own writing, and now I can read my own writing, and I am writing 3, 4, 5 times faster." Dr. Shealy, I'm afraid that if I get in a car, I will get a ticket.
Keep your foot off the pedal. Let the car go on its own.
I have a feeling I'd be looking for, "Hey, what's with this pedal? There's only room for 1 foot. There should be room for both feet on the accelerator." Seriously, on the way home, Mrs. Finelli and I were in the truck, and I was looking at some of the the movements of some of the drivers, and I'm thinking, "Gosh, they sure are driving slow." I'm in a hurry now, Dr. Shealy. This is just so.
I wish we had taken a broad chemical profile on you before.
Do I sound a little different? I mean, geez. I'll tell you what this is like. Okay. Do you remember the first time that we were at the radio station, KWTO, and you had given me bliss, and I just went off the deep end? I was just absolutely wired.
Right.
That's this. That's what this is like now. Seriously, except I think that was a lower example.
A precursor.
Yeah, precursor. Yes. Okay, so the next thing on your protocol, and I am at normshealy.com/cancer-therapy, and you can go to usapreparedness.com class, and there's a link on page 1. I'm going to keep it up for weeks as the #1 post, so you'll find it. We've been talking about what is in his protocol, and I sampled the Myers cocktail yesterday, and the effects of it are unbelievable. As a matter of fact, just as you told me that it is a diuretic, no question about it. It's high speed. It doesn't have to change colors. It looks like urine, and it just. Well, the guy next to me is one of in the scalar room, Jim Stewart. He was next to me, and so I went to the men's room, and I got down in the recliner, and I went to the men's room, and I got down in the recliner. I went to the men's room. The fourth time, and he looked at me and he said, "You're going to have to drive home with the car door open." Now, if it weren't for that outcome, that it is a diuretic, I would say that someone running a race, on foot would do really well with this, Dr. Shealy, but you wouldn't be able to complete the race.
Our next experiment, marathon runners.
Well, okay, so is this the kind of thing that you think maybe athletes have tried Dr. Shealy? Is that a possibility? Or
Well, it would be safe, at least. The nice thing about it would be safe, and it would not have any artificial stuff in it. Anything you made yourself. It's not, it's not like doping.
Yeah. Okay. So the next on your list, we're going down the list of the ingredients for this cancer protocol in Dr. Shealy's, is IV, intravenous, vitamin C, 100 grams in a Myers cocktail daily, 5 days a week for at least 2 weeks and up to 4 weeks. That's what you've got listed on your website.
Exactly.
Can you give us just a real quick thumbnail about what you mean by that?
Well, it depends on to some extent, the patient's seriousness. Personally, I probably, no matter what it was, I'd go for the whole 20 doses because that seems to be optimal. Now, it could be strung out to 3 times a week and go over a longer period of time as well. Both of those work, in my experience. It depends on how frail the person is.
And the next on your list is castor oil suits nightly for 1 month. That's CASTOR space
I better
oil.
tell people how to do that.
Yes.
I've talked about castor oil packs, etc., on the abdomen for 45 years, but I wanted to do the whole body. And the easiest way to do the whole body is to take a shower and dry off, and then rub castor oil from the bottom of your neck down to your wrists and all the way down to your ankles, front and back. And it's really sort of sloppy, thick layer of castor oil. Then put on an old sweatsuit and sleep in it. And you can reuse that suit for 4 or 5 nights before you have to wash it. And you'll never use it for anything else, by the way. Even though you'll get some of it out, you'll never get all that oil out. But it is a powerful immune booster.
Okay. Now, when someone buys castor oil, CASTOR space oil, where do they buy it, and are there any specifications for it?
Well, any castor oil will do. You want to buy at least a pint, of course, and we carry it on my website. But you can find it at most health food stores.
Okay, it does not have to be USP, or does it?
No, that does not have to be USP. Any kind of castor oil will work for the body on the skin.
And one more time, Dr. Shealy. So you want us to shower, get all clean and dry, and then start at the neck and go down how far?
Well, all the way to the wrist and all the way to the ankles, front and back. And in other words, you leave your hands and your feet free. But other than that, it's the whole body and your head.
Even the private parts?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's got skin.
Okay, so all right, so why are we doing this, Dr. Shealy? What is how does this work? I guess that's the question.
Castor oil has been called Palm of Christi, the palm of Christ. Edgar Casey was the one who started this way back in the probably 20s or 30s, and I got introduced to it in 1972, and I've used it on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people and horses. We had the first winter I learned about it. We had a horse who got a wire cut just above the hoof, and the vet wanted to put him down because it would never heal, he said. Well, all we did was wet some Pampers, hold it on with duct tape, and he got well. And
so when you say you wet Pampers, you wet it in castor oil.
Yeah, that's how we put it on the horse's ankle. Now, I have, if you get an acute belly, some kind of acute viral type abdominal pain, one of the safest things in the world you can do is to put a cloth soaked in castor oil, a piece of plastic on top of it, and a heating pad on your belly. It is wonderful. And there have been studies showing that it improves your immune system. Is
there any risk at all of suffocation with your skin being covered in castor oil, Dr. Shealy, for 8 hours a night?
Not at all. You may sweat a little bit, but it won't harm you.
Okay. And then, so if a person were to try this tonight, I guess there's going to be a run on castor oil. If a person was going to try this tonight, how much castor oil would you expect the person would be using?
It's probably
2
going
ounces?
to take up to 3/4 of a cup.
Okay.
Cover your body.
3/4 of a cup per
now,
day.
If you don't want to do the suit, you could do a bath, but it's messier. Because if you do a bath in your regular tub, you put 1 cup in and you hot bath and soak in it for 30 minutes. But then you've got to let the water out. Don't try to get out of the tub yet. Take a cheap shampoo and wash your tub and everything on your body and rinse off twice before you crawl out so you don't trip and fall.
I found, Dr. Shealy, I found a Whirlpool tub that I have not installed. And I was thinking, and the reason I bought it a couple of years ago. I'm delayed in getting this installed. And I was thinking that there's got to be some health benefits to improving the circulation. Is that true?
Well, that's true. Actually, a hot tub like that. Now there, I would add to a regular size hot tub about 5 or 6 pounds of magnesium chloride. I would not add castor because it might muck up the motor. But for soaking in a regular bathtub or in a hot tub, you can add magnesium chloride, which is very good.
And you said 4 to 5 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that magnesium chloride hexahydrate?
That is correct.
Okay. We'll be right back. Dr. Shealy's with us, and we're talking about his cancer protocol. Dr. Shealy, on your protocol, you say saunas 5 days a week or soak in a bathtub with a cup of magnesium chloride crystals with very warm water for 30 minutes. Can you tell us what a sauna does? And not all of us have a sauna, and I don't. Where would we do?
Sweat. And again, sweating detoxifies the body. There's nothing that can, get rid of toxins of all kinds, chemical toxins, metal poisons, et cetera, et cetera. Nothing works any better than sweating.
Okay. All right. And does the tub, a very warm tub, do the same thing with magnesium crystals?
As far as I can tell, if you can get the temperature up to about 108 degrees at least in the water comfortably, you'll sweat just as much.
Okay. And that would be for 30 minutes? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then next, Dr. Shealy, you've got positive mental programming, autogenic training, basic Schultz, the CD. Please tell us how that works with this therapy for fighting cancer.
Autogenic training was developed in 1912, and at this point there are over 17,000 scientific listings related to outcomes of autogenic training. It is a self-hypnosis tool in which you quietly say to yourself over an 18 to 20 minute period, my arms and legs are heavy and warm, my heartbeat's calm and regular, my breathing's free and easy, my abdomen is warm, my forehead is cool, my mind is quiet and still. And each of those you repeat about 20 times, slowly. That retrains the entire automatic or autonomic nervous system. And it has been shown to be effective in 80% of ordinary, if you will, whatever an ordinary is, stress illness. It's like hypertension, peptic ulcers, migraine, etc. Getting people to do it is the problem. It does take 20 minutes twice a day for 3 months to get the best benefit.
Well, I can tell you, Dr. Shealy, that as you were saying it, I was repeating it in my mind with my eyes closed, my head down, right in front of the microphone, and I could feel my head lowering and lowering. Even as hyper as I am right now, it seemed to put me into almost a trance state.
Yeah, well, imagine doing that for 20 minutes. And I have done this in hundreds of people in my office where I do it 3 to 5 minutes only. And a minimum of 80% of the time, I can get the blood pressure down to normal within 3 to 5 minutes.
How fast would it work if someone took an oral supplement, an oral prescription to reduce blood pressure compared to the 3 to 5 minutes that it takes you to do it?
Well, the prescription drug, if you're really good, it might work within 6 to 24 hours.
Okay. Okay.
And the nice
and
thing
class.
about autogenic training is no negative effects.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Shealy, that seems to be a hallmark of what you do. No negative effects.
Safety.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Next on your list is GR8 Dophilus twice daily. Let me spell that for the class. The letter G, the letter R, space, the number 8, hyphen, Dophilus, Dophilus, GR8 Dophilus, twice daily.
That is one of the best probiotics. In other words, this contains 8 different types of probiotics, lactobacillus, that whole family of the healthy bacteria that your intestines like.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Shealy, you have talked at other times, many times, about Greek yogurt. I don't. Do I see that on? I don't see that on this list. Is that something that you might want to add to this, or not?
Definitely worth trying. A lot of people don't like plain yogurt because of its tartness.
Oh, it's great.
And I can't recommend any of the flavored yogurts because they all got sugar in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is for people who won't eat kefir or yogurt.
Well, is this an alternative to GR8 Dophilus or not?
Yes, it could be. That is certainly true.
Okay, we'll be right back. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us. And Dr. Shealy, the next item on your list is keep your salivary pH 7.4 to 7.5. Use K-bicarb, K-bicarb, if necessary, to be alkaline.
Cancer does not like, or doesn't live well in an acid, in an alkaline environment. It loves an acid environment. Most people really don't have an optimal pH. Now, for a normal person, I wouldn't go above 7.4 for the pH of the saliva. But a lot of normal people are 7 or 7.1. And that means their whole metabolism is not good. So in cancer, it's especially important to keep your body alkaline. K-bicarb is potassium bicarbonate. Each little capsule is 99 milligrams, so it might take as many as 10 in order to raise your pH adequately.
Okay, just one more time. We had a little bit of a drop out there. So potassium bicarbonate, where does one obtain that, and what is the dosage, if necessary?
It's on our website, K-bicarb, and I would start with 5, but go up to 10.
5 to 10
of your
what?
Saliva, yes.
5 to 10 what? Capsules,
They're
tablets?
tiny little capsules. Yes, you could take, they're so small you could take all 10 of them at one time.
Okay. And how, so a person would measure his or her pH level and then, if necessary, adjust it?
Yes, adjust it with the K-bicarb. And, it's going to make a difference within, let's say, a couple of hours after absorbing it.
Okay. And to keep the potassium level, to keep the salivary pH at 7.4 to 7.5, is that done daily to keep it that way and until it's not necessary?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then you've got 1 or 2 meals of all raw fruits, 1 or 2 meals of all raw fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds. Exactly.
Those are your best source of natural vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and a lot of potassium.
So are you saying that with 1 or 2 meals, or make a meal out of just all raw fruits, all vegetables, nuts, and seeds? Is that what you're saying? Make a meal out of that?
Yeah, 1 or 2 meals every day of just that.
Okay. And then next is 1 or 2 meals of macrobiotic brown rice, steamed vegetables, and broiled, poached, or baked fish.
Yes. Again, there's some very good evidence that the macrobiotic diet is anti-cancer.
Okay. Now, what if a person doesn't like fish?
Tough shucks. They don't like cancer either. I mean,
Okay.
I would say anybody who doesn't like fish, well, good on you, mate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. They had a password in World War II. Our enemies couldn't use slang, and one of those passwords was to get on board a ship was Tufsky Shatitsky. I guess that's what you're saying. Okay. Dr. Shealy, we've got Mary in Texas. She called us last week. Mary, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Well, I called you during the break. I thought
I saw your number on my caller ID this morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to make sure you heard this broadcast.
Well, I have been hearing it because that call reminded me, but I've got a couple of questions, one of which is, how and when do you measure your pH? This is based on my having listened, and the other thing I wanted to comment on, and this was a little way back, was the basic Schultz. That is just such a life-changing time to spend every day. I used to give the CDs as Christmas gifts, but I think that it's only available now as a download from your site, isn't it, Dr. Shealy?
Well, we should still have CDs of it, yes. If you don't see it on the website, call the office at 800 number and see if, because they should have it there. It should be both.
You should have some available.
Yes.
Okay, and how specifically and when do you measure pH?
The best time is when you first get up in the morning.
Okay, so that's your first urine.
No, this is
you're doing a saliva. You're doing a saliva, or okay, not a urine. Okay.
No, in the urine you would want it down to 5.5.
Okay, 5.5 in the urine and 7.4
is
in the first morning saliva.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I'm also was asking again about the Fisher-Wallace.
Yes.
The cranial stimulant.
We are planning on having that up and available on the website probably this week, and I will give anybody we'll arrange a free telephone consult to get you a prescription for people who want it, because I think it should be available.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for that then. All right. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'll call the office, 351. I'll call my office, 417-351-5221, and they can set you up with a telephone consult to get it.
Okay, great. I'll do that. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Isn't that great? She's been a fan of yours for years, Dr. Shealy. I heard her call in last week, and I decided to ask for her phone number, and I called her, and she's quite a fan. Dr. Shealy, so what does it mean if a person's urine is between 7 and 8, like 7.5?
That means you're really sick, and you're going to get a urinary tract infection, if nothing else. The pH of the urine should never be above 6, in my opinion.
pH
Some people say 6.5, but, you're flirting with danger when you get even to 6.5.
Okay. Danger at 6.5. Danger
above
greater than 6.5. Okay. Urine. Okay. And does vitamin C, massive doses of vitamin C, like a Myers cocktail, affect that?
Yes, it is likely to make the urine acid, which is what you want.
Okay. Make the urine acid. Okay, lower. Okay. And pH. All right. And you've got here, consider Protocell, Protocel. What is that, Dr. Shealy?
Protocell is a product that's been available for many years. Again, nutrient, immune enhancing. You have to get it on the internet, but it is safe and worth adding.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You skipped 2.
Yeah, I did. I skipped consult 1 or 2 spiritual healers.
Yes, there's no question that occasionally, we have demonstrated in almost 200 people that a healer from up to 1,000 miles away can affect your EEG within seconds. That means some kind of healing energy has hit that person in a good way. And so it's certainly a safe thing to do. There are, several that I recommend, and they can find those on my website.
Okay. Do you think we should ask a spiritual healer to give us an instruction on the air, Dr. Shealy?
I have one I would recommend, Larry Porter.
Larry Porter. Yes, please.
Okay.
Larry
I
Porter.
will get in touch with him.
Okay, and if you just want to give him my phone number, you can call me, and we'll put him right on the air. Well, it might take a week. But yeah, I'd love to do that.
Good.
All right. And why do you say one or two spiritual healers, not just one?
We're dealing with extremely difficult problems here. Cancer is a serious illness. And just as nothing works in 100% of people, I would say, why not go for two in a situation this serious?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next is White Bear Double Helix Water.
This is a specific programmed water that has been shown to have significant influence on part of the immune system again. Good old lymphocytes.
Okay. And is this water that you buy by the case, by the gallon?
No, actually, this is interesting. You buy a small bottle and put drops of it into your water.
Oh, okay. And have you seen dramatic results, measurable results from this?
I have no financial interest in it. I did some of the original evaluation on lymphocytes with double helix water. So, yes.
Okay, so this is a bottle that you add drops to the water that you're going to drink.
Exactly. And, of course, under no circumstance should you drink city water, ever, cancer or not.
Okay. So do you recommend a Berkey-type carbon block water filter or a ProPure carbon water filter with silver infusion in the outer layer?
I use a Berkey.
Okay.
That's what we use at the clinic.
And the next thing that you've got is consider heavy enzyme therapy.
Now, that is a very broad field. Remember, everything that takes place in our body practically requires something called enzymes. Most people know about digestive enzymes for fat, protein, carbohydrate, etc. But there are enzymes that control everything in our body. And there's a wide variety of Dr. Loomis's enzymes, and we specialize in helping people develop the right enzyme approach for them.
Okay, and when we come back, we've got IV or intra-arterial sodium bicarbonate. Class, Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and we've been talking about his cancer protocol, including the Myers cocktail. And I decided I would try the Myers cocktail to see my reaction. And you can listen to that during hour number 1 of this broadcast. If you'd like to call Dr. Norman Shealy's office, 417-351-5221. 417-351-5221. And that's in the Central Time Zone, Springfield, Missouri. Dr. Shealy, we talked about the urine pH, and you talked about where you wanted that to be. And I believe, let's see, I've got here 5.5, is that right? No.
5.5 to a maximum of 6.5 urine pH, yes.
Okay. Now, do supplements affect that? For example, some of the things that we've been talking about.
Well, vitamin C will certainly affect that, help make it the urine acid in the blood better, positive. And, of course, potassium bicarbonate will help make your saliva more alkaline, but then you do have to watch a little bit to be sure you don't take your urine too alkaline. Remember that fruits and vegetables are the best thing to keep you alkaline.
Okay, fruits and vegetables. Now, it sounds like counterintuitive because aren't like oranges, aren't they acidic?
Interestingly, even though they are acidic, they actually in the body become alkaline.
Okay, so
all fruit except plums and cranberries and rhubarb will make you alkaline in the body.
So are you recommending no plums, no cranberries, no rhubarb, or are you saying it's okay?
Well, they are acidifying. They're fine for the urine. If you need to be more acid in the urine, then you want to especially use cranberries.
Okay, and that's good for a urinary tract infection.
Yes.
So cranberries more acidic.
Much more.
Okay, and then Dr. Shealy, what do you do if your pH is 7.5 or higher?
Well, if you were your salivary pH was too high, then you need to be checked quickly to be sure you don't have diabetes.
Okay. What if your salivary pH is fine and your urine pH is high?
Then I would take more cranberries. I would use cranberry capsules, by the way, instead of juice, because all the juice has sugar in it.
Okay. All right. And then consider an IV intra-arterial sodium bicarbonate. And it says, see the note about cancer as a fungus in the archives.
Yeah, there's a book written by an Italian physician who believes that virtually all cancer is associated with a fungus infection, and the best way to heal it is to actually get into the artery feeding that organ and put in sodium bicarbonate. I don't know anybody in this country who does that.
Mm-hmm. Have you done that?
I have not. No, I don't. You know, that's a pretty specific thing to be getting into an artery of a given organ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And of the experiences that you've had with the Myers cocktail, which we originally started this broadcast with, can you give us a highlight of what you've seen it effective for?
Well, the most effective is for colds and flu. There's no question. I mean, it can knock those out often within one day.
Wow.
That's the most important. I have used it to treat hepatitis, acute viral hepatitis, and I certainly would consider it for that. And I have seen a number of cures of cancer. And
no, we lost you there. Cancer and what else?
If it doesn't cure the cancer, it may at least get rid of the pain.
Okay. Very good. Dr. Shealy, thank you so much for being with us today. And I'm going to look forward to the scalar study and learn how that has worked. And I'm participating in that too as well. Along with this pouch I have with sapphire crystals. So I'm trying all of the recommendations over the years that Dr. Shealy has recommended. Thank you so much, Dr. Shealy.
Thank you, Vince. Have a great day.
And you too.